My doctor told me multiple times that it was like a picture-perfect pregnancy. I didn't have any health complications. Penelope didn't have any health complications. I ended up going into labor on my actual due date on April 2nd. We got sent home and told that I wasn't in labor and it wasn't, water had not broke. But I was leaking quite a bit of fluid at the time. So we drove back to the hospital, and that's where it kind of just took a really big turn. We got moved into a room. I got an epidural right away, and at that time were still being told that I was still gonna be able to push. I just needed to get the antibiotics in me, and they were gonna get everything leveled out. Within 30 minutes, I passed out after the epidural. That's all I remember. I fell asleep and woke up to being flipped over and about 4 doctors and a bunch of nurses rushing in and telling me that they couldn't find Penelope's heart rate. I remember them coming in and explaining we almost lost you, we almost lost your daughter, we're still working on her. She was stable in a sense, but they said they didn't have much confidence in her making it through the night, where they did tell us after her first MRI that she was brain dead. They called us a day later and said she's been extubated and is on the breathing tube fine. She is breathing on her own. We just have the machines helping her, and we may have spoke too soon. My uncle, who lives in Arizona, is a lawyer. He got us in touch with Beth and Mona, and we felt very comforted immediately and very taken care of from the jump. And even when we still were in a place that we didn't have much information or know what the extent of anything was, they were still very helpful and very attentive, always answered our calls, always listened to my crying self asking questions, and were always patient at any time that we needed anything. And that was the only comfort that I had in this whole experience. For being such a traumatic event, they made it really easy for us to handle. From there, they were able to get me and Penelope set up with a trust that is accruing throughout her life. So they are able to pay and help with all of her medical expenses, all of our bills, any other additional living expenses, which is so helpful and such a stress relief on my end, setting us up at a good starting point so that it wasn't okay, you're done and here's a trust and we're signed off. They've even to this day are still checking in and making sure that the trust is doing what they need to do and that we're getting the care that we need and are still continuing to be attentive even after we've settled, which is, I think, amazing.